Make More Placements community on Facebook. If you're listening live, just give us a like or a comment in the comment box below. Let us know that everything's working okay. So if in fact, if you're listening live, write the word live. If you're watching the replay, write the word replay as well. Let us know where you tune in from. If you're listening to this anywhere other than Facebook, so either YouTube, iTunes, wherever, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts, remember to like and subscribe as well and help us spread the word. Today we're going to be talking about why your business development isn't bringing in enough clients to your recruitment or search business. So why your business development isn't bringing in enough clients into your recruitment or search business. So, one of the things that me and Terry hear often from the recruitment and search business owners that reach out to us is that, they're working hard doing their business development, doing the marketing, making outbound calls, emails, whatever it is they do in their business, but they're just not getting enough clients, not getting enough attention, not getting enough leads in. And we want to do a quick sort of 15-20 minute podcast here, just to talk about some of the reasons, well, specifically four of the main reasons why that isn't happening, right? So if you're a recruitment or search business owner right now, and you want more clients in your business, and you're doing all kind of marketing to get them in, but you're just not getting enough, this podcast is for you. Terry, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, business development is the lifeblood of your business. Without business development, you haven't got a business. Sure, you can get a business occasionally to referrals. Sure, the odd person may reach out to you that you've known for a number of years. But that really is the exception rather than the rule, added to which those sort of things tend to happen by accident where you've got absolutely no control over it. Once you get this dialed in, your business development, you're controlling your own destiny. You're actually controlling how much you're going to generate each month, each year, and how wealthy you want to be. So it is the lifeblood of your business.
100%. So we're going to sort of unpack four of the big mistakes that we see people making, right? So mistake number one, right? So reason number one why your business development isn't working or isn't bringing enough clients into your recruitment or search business is that you're not consistent enough. So you're not consistent enough. Terry, can you explain firstly, I guess, what we mean by that? And secondly, why it's important that people start being consistent?
Yeah, for a lot of recruiters we talk to recruitment and search business owners every day of the week. Not only our own clients, but also potential clients as well. And it is a big problem for the majority of recruitment and search business owners we speak to. And what we mean by consistency, for the majority of recruitment business owners, what happens is they get some business in, they get some job orders in, whether it's contingency, whether it's retained, whether it's exclusive, and they're working on those job orders. So it's head to the grindstone, so to speak, working on those job orders. They get to the end of those job orders, they fill those roles. Sometimes if they're working on contingency, they don't fill those roles. So it also means that they've worked for nothing because they're not going to get paid for that. But anyway, that's a discussion for another time. So they've got no business. So now they go, shoot, got no business. I need to do some business development. And they're back on the middle of business development. They do some business development, they get some business in, and they start working on those job orders. And the point is, what it generates is, or creates, is this, what we call famine and feast. 1 minute, there's a drinking champagne and eating caviar, and the next quarter or next month it's bread and water because they haven't got a consistent method. And what you want is a consistent method of generating needs, a consistent method of getting business in. Even recruiters that say, oh well, we use referrals or networking to get business. That's great, by the way, but again, you want to be doing that consistently. You want to have a process in place so you're generating leads all the time. You don't need a business, you've still got inquiries coming in. Does that make sense, Drew?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. And just to add to that, so Terry touched on there that one of the big reasons that recruitment and search business owners are inconsistent in their business development is because their activity is inconsistent, right? So they're when they've got no pipeline, they've got no business in, they spend a lot of time on business development, but then that when they've won the business and they deliver, that slows down. I think the other reason, just to add to that, Terry, is that another reason people are inconsistent is it's not just about being inconsistent with the activity, they're inconsistent with the method as well, right? So they'll move from sort of shiny object to shiny object, trying to find something that works without really building on anything, right? So they'll start with, maybe outbound calls, cold calling, right? And it gets some results, it works for them, but then they hear, a podcast or a trainer talk about email marketing. So they'll move to email marketing, and then rather than building on what they're doing before, they replace it, right? So they move to a different strategy completely, and then that works for a while. And then they hear about, LinkedIn works really well. So then they take their time they'll spend on email marketing and then put it onto LinkedIn. And they're just as well as being inconsistent with their behavior, they're inconsistent with the platform and the strategy in of itself, which then obviously breeds inconsistent results in your business. That's reason number one, that you're inconsistent.
Yeah, really good point there. Yeah.
Anything to add to that before I move on?
No, just some great valid points there. Yeah. Nothing else to
Perfect.
add.
So reason number two. So reason number two, your business development isn't bringing in enough clients into your recruitment and search business is that you're not marketing or promoting or reaching out to enough people. So you're not doing that development to enough people. Terry, again, can you explain what we mean by that, and I guess what some of the problems that can cause?
Yeah. So look, here's some. It'd be worth making a note of and perhaps getting tattooed on your forehead. And it's this: most of your marketing will be ignored most of the time. Fact. Let me repeat that. Most of your marketing will be ignored most of the time. Example: you may send an email to a whole load of people, and you may get a 1% response. You may get a 2% response. But let's be really pessimistic and say that 99% of the people that you send that email to ignore you. If you've only sent that email to 200 people, what it means is you're going to get 2 leads. Clearly isn't sufficient for you and your business. So what happens is people go out this email to 500 people and I only got 4 leads. Well, let's look at that. If you sent it out to 4 times as many people, 5 times as many people, you get 5 times as many leads. Yeah. So rather than send it out to 500 people, why not send it out to 2,500 people to get 5 times as many leads? And I think recruitment and search business owners forget that most of your marketing, look, if you're just doing something as simple as cold calling, here's what we know. For every hour you spend on the phone, and this is just cold calling, on average, you're going to get through to 2 decision makers for every hour. So if you spend all day on the phone cold calling, at best, you're going to speak to 16 people. At best. Most people that you speak to, by the way, you know this already, have zero interest in what you're doing. One of the problems with cold calling, it's so time consuming and most of the people you're speaking to haven't got any interest. So if you just look at that alone, you have to acknowledge that you need to be doing a lot more marketing. Now, I'm not saying that you do more cold calling, as you know. We would actually encourage you not to do any cold calling at all, only call warm leads. But whatever you do, whatever marketing you're doing, you've got to, for the majority of recruitment and search firm owners that we speak to, you need to increase the volume substantially, because most of your marketing will be ignored most of the time. Anything to add to that, Drew?
Yeah, I think one of the things that's quite common in this industry is that people sort of operate their business development. They only do the business development to their current network, right? So they're relying on their current network to win business. And when it works great. But over time, that network diminishes, it gets smaller, people move on, right? And then so does their business, it goes with it. I think one of the things you need to make sure you keep doing in your business is adding to that network, adding to the people that you're reaching out to. So whatever method you're using, with Terry mentioned cold calling, email marketing, LinkedIn, whatever, you need to be continuously adding new potential clients to that audience so you can do your business development to those people. I think, one of the fastest and quickest ways to do this, especially now in today's day and age, is to rather than target locally or maybe you're doing your just of the country you're based in, you can do globally nowadays. One of the quickest things that we do when clients sort of start working with us is let's say just targeting the UK. We say, look, we'll start targeting the States as well, or they just targeting a state within America. We say, well, look, target the whole of the country, or target the world, right? There's no reason to be limited to your geographical location anymore. We can expand and grow on that.
Yeah, just to add to that. Yeah, so we work with the recruitment and search business owners from around the world, and our most successful recruitment and search business owners we work with recruit on an international basis. One of the benefits, I think, in my opinion, it's be interesting if we never talked about this really about COVID, is that it changes how we all operate. As whereas before, recruiters were working locally or maybe nationally, what COVID then it opened up our minds to the possibility that actually you can talk to a hiring manager across the other side of the world. So we've got South African search firms that work in the UK. We've got UK search firms that work in South Africa and in North America, as an example. Most of our clients in North America target Europe as well. Here's a question worth asking yourself: if they can, why not you? And we talked earlier about if you're not marketing to enough people. If you then say, well, actually, Terry, my market's really small. There's only 500 in my potential market. If your worldwide market is only 500, I'm going to encourage you to look for a bigger market, because at 500, it's not enough. It really isn't enough to market to. And if you're marketing the market, we encourage to have a niche market, but at a minimum of 2 or 3,000 minimum in your market. At 500, if it's that small, you really do need to expand it, because most of your marketing will be ignored most of the time. Anything to add to that, Drew?
Yeah, no, 100%. I think you got it spot on.
Awesome.
So look, number one is not being consistent, or you're not consistent. Number two is you're not marketing to enough people, which brings us on to number three. So the third reason that your business development isn't working or isn't bringing enough clients into your recruitment or search business is that you're marketing to the wrong people, right? So you're marketing to the wrong people. Again, Terry, can you explain what we mean by that and why it's important?
Yeah, so really important formula for effective marketing, you need three things in place. Message, the right message to the right market using the right medium. And now we're talking about the market. And for many recruiters and search firm owners that we work with and start working with initially, they're saying, oh, I'm not getting a very good response. But when we look closer at what they're doing, so example, they may start marketing to their LinkedIn connections. When they look closer at the LinkedIn collection, it turns out that 70% of their connections on LinkedIn are potential candidates rather than hiring managers. So what you're then doing is you're sending the wrong message to the wrong market. Because if you're sending a message about growing your team to candidates, they're not the decision maker. So then that message is not going to resonate with them. Often recruiters will reach out to people within the business who are not the hiring managers. There's no point you reach out to somebody unless they're the actual decision maker, because if they can't make that decision, you're kind of wasting time. So that's one of the main reasons why marketing doesn't work, is when you're sending the right message, but to the wrong people.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
I think, yeah, look, like you said, Terry, there's, one of the ways this can present itself is that you're marketing to the wrong personnel within a business. I think that's probably the most common, but also one I think that's worth mentioning is that you're marketing to the wrong market, right? So you need to be operating in a sector or an area where there's actually going to be demand for your services. I think sometimes, what we see is, especially as the economy shifts, demand drops off completely, and the recruiter doesn't adapt, right? So as the demand drops in your sector, you need to adapt as well and go where there's actually going to be demand, go where the money is for your services as well. So it's one, marketing to the wrong personnel within a company, but two, marketing to the wrong sector in general. If the sector's drying up or is declining, then so is your results.
Yeah, 100%.
So that brings us on to the fourth and final one, is that you're talking about the wrong things. So in your marketing, in your content, in your emails, in your phone calls, whatever it is you're doing to promote your business, you're saying and you're talking about the wrong things. Terry, again, can you explain what we mean by that and why it's important?
Yeah, this for me, when I was a search consultant, this was a real game changer for me. So in my days, many years ago, when I was a search consultant, I operated within IT. And I would be calling IT directors or CTOs and talking about their recruitment needs. And it was some of the training we got then was the CTO, the IT director doesn't want recruitment. What they want is a solution that recruitment provides. So staying with IT, if I'm talking to the IT director, his or her problem is getting projects delivered on time and to the budget, not having the right team. So kind of bear with me on this. You want to be talking to the hiring manager about the problem they're having that you know that your solution can provide. See, let's give you an example. If you have, let's say that you suffer with migraines. What you want the medication that's going to take that pain away. You don't want to know about the history of the business. You don't want to know what their mission statement is. You don't even care where they're based. What you want is the solution to your problem. You don't need to know the chemical makeup of the medication that you're going to take. But what most recruiters do is they reach out to the hiring manager and they say, I'm a recruiter. I've been in business 10 years. Our mission statement's this. We have a wealth of experience in this. And what I understand is what your recruitment needs are. But going back to the IT director, if you say, what's the major problems you're having right now? We'll stay with IT. For the IT director or CTO, that challenges around getting projects delivered on time and to budget, which probably means that they haven't got the right team in place to do that. If you're doing sales, what their key thing is about, the VP of sales is about ensuring that they achieve their target for the year.
Yep.
And they probably haven't got a team where everybody's performing at the right level. That's what the conversation wants to be about, not about I'm a great recruiter. This is our mission statement, and look at our website. Does that make sense, Drew?
It does. It makes perfect sense. And just to add to that, I think, one thing is very important for you to understand as a business owner is that your clients, your potential clients, then none of them are interested in recruitment, or very few of them are interested in recruitment, right? Very few of them are interested in the service you provide. Very few of them are interested in the candidates. What they're actually really interested in at the core level is they're interested in the outcome that candidate can provide, right? So Terry used the example of salespeople there, right? If you recruit salespeople, you in your target audience right now, there are lots of people that aren't interested in recruiting a salesperson. There are lots of people that aren't interested in recruitment. There's lots of people that aren't interested in the candidate story, right? But there's going to be very few businesses in your sector right now that don't want to increase sales, right? So rather than talking about your service as a recruiter, how you recruit people, the delivery, we talk about the outcome of delivery, which is the increase in sales, right? When you shift from talking about what you do to the outcome that you provide, you'll get so many more people interested in what you have to say. Your phone calls will go better, your emails will get a better response, your LinkedIn content will get more likes, more engagement, more people message you for your services. Overall, your marketing starts to work a lot better, right? It's one of the biggest shifts that we see with the recruitment search business owners we work with, that when they stop talking about recruitment and focus on what they do as a recruiter, and start focusing on what the candidate actually wants, they get a much higher uptake in anything that they put out. Like anything they do, whether it's a phone call, email, whatever, gets a lot better response. That's number one. Number two, which is a very big thing as well. The more and more you talk about recruitment, and the more you focus on recruitment and recruitment services in your business development, the more you look like every other recruiter out there. And the more you look like every other recruiter out there, the more you're going to get ignored, because you're going to be very hard pressed to find a potential client who hasn't got another recruiter they're already speaking to, right? So if you sound the same and offering the same thing, why am I going to take your call? Why am I going to respond to your email? There's no reason to, right? You want to separate yourself from other recruiters as much as you can. One, so you don't get ignored, but secondly, I think so you can charge the fee you actually deserve as well. Again, the more we market like everybody else in our sector, the more commoditized our service looks, right? So you could be, I don't care how good you are at your service, you could be the best recruiter in the world. If you're marketing and promoting your services the same as the worst recruiter in your sector, you're going to look exactly the same. So if you're speaking to me as a hiring manager, one person saying 10%, charging 10% fee, and you're charging 30%, whatever, I'm thinking, well, I'm going to go with you because you look exactly the same, right? So the more you can start focusing on the outcome, the more you can separate yourselves from the market as well. Terry, anything you want to add to that?
Just made some great points. And just to add to that, as you're right now, imagine that I was a rec to rec. So I recruit recruiters, but rather than saying I'm a rec to rec and I can find you recruiters, if I said, hey, listen, what have you generated this year? And you said X, Y, Z. And I said, look, if I could show you a way of adding an additional 200,000 to your revenue, is that something you could be interested in? Any business owners can say, well, yeah, let's continue this conversation. Now, what I can now talk about is bringing in a consultant that can add an additional 200,000 to their revenue. Yeah. Whether you're a solo recruiter, you've got a team of 200, you're going to be interested in that. But notice, I'm not going to talk about I'm a rec to rec guy and I've got a database of lots of recruitment consultants, because you're not particularly interested. But you are interested if I ask you if you're interested in adding an additional 200,000 to your sales over the next 12 months. So that's So great examples that you gave there, Drew. Thank you. Excellent.
Awesome. So just to recap very quickly, number one is that you're not being consistent in your approach, or in a platform. Number two, you're not marketing to enough people. Three is you're marketing to the wrong people. And four is you're talking about the wrong things, right? So again, if you've enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe, comment. And if you know any other recruitment and search business owners who you think could benefit to, make sure you share this with them as well. Again, we want to get this free content out to as many people as possible. We want to help as many people as possible in this sector. So if you can help us in doing that, we'd really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us today. We're here every week. And our sole aim is to help you generate more leads, make more placements, earn more money with fewer headaches. Until next time, folks, take care, take action, be relentless.